Hello students, today we are going to learn the first part of our family practical guide. As is COVID situation, it is not going to be held in the department and in the urban field practice area, so lecture is going here in online. I am Dr. Rajesh De, senior resident. So now we are going to learn the identification and study of the socioeconomic characteristics of the family. Initially, as the introduction part, we have to know that members in the community are differentiated by certain characteristics they possess, such as personal characteristics like sex, marital status, etc. Also some educational characteristics like literacy, economic characteristics like occupation, income, type of activity, cultural characteristics like language, religion, caste. Each of these characteristics is important as they determine the functioning of the community in normal and stressful situations. In large, the family size and composition as well as their socioeconomic status are equally important as the response of the family largely depends on these. Thus, they are related with social classification and differentiated, which may directly influence health status, nutritional status, utilization of health services, socio-cultural pattern of living, that is, details of daily living. Now coming to the family, that is the core subject of our practical part. So what is family? Family is the basic unit of the society. So in order to promote health and healthful behavior at this basic level, it is important to consider family structure as well as characteristics related to socio-economic status of the family. The family actually defined as the group of people living together who are biologically related or by marriage or by adoption and sharing a common kitchen. That is, they should be biologically related, that is father, mother, son, or there may be marriage relation like husband, wife, or there may be some father, mother and adopted child, and all together have to share a common kitchen. Biologically, it signifies that it shares a pool of gene. Culturally, it reflects that the culture of the wider society of which it is the part, and socially, it shares a common physical and social environment. It is the most important social unit in the community and also the unit of which medical social services are being provided. But here a confusion can come into the mind of your, that is household and family. But household differs from the family because family in that all members may not be blood related in case of household, whereas in case of family the peoples are biologically related either by marriage or by adoption and have to share a common kitchen. In case of the people also share a common kitchen, but they are not biologically related like servants. Now, role of the family in health and disease. No scientific practice towards an individual is complete without the knowledge of his or her family. Composition and the structure of the family, its cultural and socio-economic aspects, environmental conditions, etc. all play an important role in both health and disease. In the prevention and treatment of individual illness, in the care of children and dependent adults, stabilization of the personality of both adults and children, and in rehabilitation of its members in case of problems and broken relation in the community. Similarly, no family practice can be meaningfully carried out without community background of the health and disease problem. In short, the approach to individual beneficiaries as is shown in the traditional method of practice of medicine must be supplemented by the approach of the social medicine with the family as bed and community as ward. Now coming to the core practical part, that is the guidelines. Which guidelines we have to follow to collecting the data from the family in the field area, and it will help our to assess the socio-economic status of the family also. Initially we have to identify the family and the family members. So the first part here is the identification particulars. So first of all we have to identify the head of the family. And now who is the head of the family? A person who is the principal earning member and a decision maker of the family. Suppose in a family there are grandfather, grandmother, his and her son, and wife of his son and their child. In case if the grandfather is still earning and he is the still decision maker of the family, he is the head of the family. But whereas in certain family the grandfather and the grandmother, whoever, may be retired or they are not earning anymore and they are not taking any part of decision making or taking a little part in the decision making, but the main decision making part has been controlled by the son of this elder person of the family, and he is also the earning member of the principal earning member of the family. In that case this son is the head of the family in spite of having this grandfather or grandmother. I think you have understand. So regarding collecting data, we have to identify the head of the family properly. Now come to the type of the family. There are different types of family which you have already read in your theory class. I am not going details about that, but here I am just mentioning two of them which is very much needed in collecting data inside the field area, that is nuclear and joint. Nuclear family, that is the simplest form of the family consisting of husband and wife with or without unmarried children residing under the same roof. And joint family, family of siblings living together. The joint family may have a number of variations such as married man with his family plus unmarried sisters and or brothers, or husband, wife and their married children, etc. I think I am not going details. You have already known about this type of family. Now next we have to collect from the family is the particulars of the family members. At first the age of the family member. For under 5 children, record age in completed months, and for others in completed years. And next come to the sex. It has been typed as in error. The chronological order has not been maintained here. It is the typing error, so ignore this. Just come to the point. Next, sex is record the sex as male as M and female as F, as transgender as TG. Just you have to fill this short form in your data collection sheet. Next come the marital status, that is married, M for married, UM for unmarried, W for widower, and S for separated. Next come education status. Education status is very much important because it has directly or indirectly relation to the health of the family member. So education status has been classified as illiterate, non-formal and literate. Or in case in the literate section, it can also be classified as the class which he or she has been passed, that is class 8 passed, or madhyamik passed, or standard 10+2 passed, or HS, or graduate or postgraduate, etc. So now the person who has been called illiterate is a person above 7 years who can neither read nor write with understanding in any one language, and the person above 7 years but can read and write with understanding in any one language but do not have formal schooling, they can be written as literate but non-formal. And in case of under 5 years of the age, you can 5 years of the age children, you can write it preschool children. You can write it as preschool children. And for literate with formal schooling, write the higher education status attained that I have already mentioned. That is the examination he or she has passed. Now next point is the occupation. It is also a very important point. The occupation has been classified as different categories. It is there are so many categorization occupations in different scale in different times by the different researchers and in different country settings, but overall some categorization has been followed and it has been mentioned here, and this categorization has been usually has been followed in large extent. So first of all, in categorization it comes the professional. It is the highest social status for profession like medical, engineering or legal. And next come the semi-professional. That is for employment as college teachers or administrative responsibilities like head teachers, officers in government and other enterprises, supervisory personnel, etc. And also the primary and the high school teachers and the clerical jobs are also include persons who are in employment but do not carry high social status. But it comes here in a contest with the next point, that is there it has been also mentioned clerical, but here this clerical job is to some extent different from the next category because it is the higher class in occupational classification of the clerical jobs. There are some clerks who are posted in the higher post and some of them are in lower post. The higher post who belongs to this higher post usually belongs to the semi-professional groups, and there are certain difference in their work responsibilities or in their work efficiencies and also their work culture. So the higher class of these clerical jobs has been included in the semi-professional group, but this demarcation is very minute and usually there is no difference between these semi-professional clerical jobs and the normal clerical jobs. So we have to take usually what patient response, patient or family members response in our field practice area, and we have to field according to that. And next come to the clerical and shop owner and farmer. It is the traders who maintain petty shops and are engaged in small trade and business activities. Next come the skilled workers. Skilled workers includes such occupations in which the workers have to follow or have to show or have to have some skill activities like tailor, carpenter, blacksmith, washerman, potter, barber, beadi workers, etc. And usually it's include artisan who follow their family occupations. Next come the unskilled worker, the lowermost part classification in the occupation. And the unskilled workers, those are casual workers like who are engaged by others by wages or maybe some contractual money, and usually get their wages on daily basis and maintain their family on such incomes like laborer, 100 days worker, that's all. And next, unemployed is not a category of occupation, but it's a part of occupation because there are so many unemployed persons all over the world, including our country. So we have to put it in our data sheet if we found any unemployed member in the family, unemployed adult member in the family actually. So in case a person is engaged in more than one occupation, select the one carrying the high social status. You will find in the family that they are in our Bagbazar slum area also that the head of the family is performing 2 or 3 activities together in a time. In the morning time he is performing one activities or one job. In the evening time he is performing one job. In the night time he is performing another job. So in that case you will get confused that what should be the actual occupation of the head of the family. In that case you select those occupations which carrying the highest social status. Like if one is a driver at the daytime and he is the what we say he is the suppose he is vendor, he vendor in the evening time, or he is the vegetable seller in the evening time, then you have to choose driver as his occupation. Now type of occupation must be mentioned for all the family members. That have I already mentioned. Next point, coming to the physical activity. Physical activity can be mentioned as sedentary, moderate and heavy. Sedentary activities, that is the who usually works by sitting, like driver, and there is no so much physical activity in their work has been mentioned, maybe mentioned as sedentary. And some worker they have moderate physical activity, and some of them are heavy laborer, so you have to mention that. And in case of physiological status, so you have to mention like that, which I have mentioned, like mothers, you have, if pregnant, mention P. For lactating mother, mention L, and non-lactating mother, mentioned NPLN. And in case of infants, if the infant is in exclusively breastfed, then you write EBF, and it is complementary feeding started, you write CF. Now coming to the social problems. Now after collecting this data, you have to identify the social problems which I will discuss in the last part of this class too much elaborately, but I am mentioning here the main point. The social problems which you have to identify is the literary status, that literacy are considered more than 7 years of age and ability to read, write, understand at least one language, which I have already mentioned in case of the education status, that is who are illiterate and who are literate, who are non-formal, who are literate, who are preschool, etc. You have to also take a collection, you have to collect the data of school dropout. School dropout means if a child of school going age, that is 16 to 14 years, does not attend school for 3 consecutive months, then he or she is considered a school dropout. And unemployed adult, you have to also identify those adult person more than 18 years, that is more than 18 years, neither involved in any job nor a student. The point here is the he or she is not a student. He is not a student, but still he is not doing anything at present, and he or she is adult. Then you can stamped him or her as the unemployed adult. Next, coming to the socio-economic status, it is also a great importance in the family practice. So socio-economic status is the topic is the topic which is needed in not only in case of family practice. It is helpful for you in your future life if you partner in a research. Always the socioeconomic status is very much important variable in case of a research study. So the topic should be approached only after good rapport with the family, and ask for expenditure. In case of socioeconomic status, we have to ask for expenditure, but ask for expenditure fast is very much troublesome to the family. So don't ask expenditure fastly to the family. Firstly, make good rapport with the family members and the responder who is responding to your to your questions, and then lastly you can ask for the income and expenditure pattern. Actually income pattern from the family, because it is a sensitive issue for them. Now you can cross check the income and expenditure pattern to validate, but that is actually not needed in this case, and it is also, this cross check validation is troublesome in the field practice area. So you just collect the data which the responder is giving to you. So giving to you, and the family income per month is here comes the calculation of the family income per month, and it is being calculated by dividing the total income of the family in a 1 month by the total numbers of the family members. That is the per capita family income, which we are called is per capita family income. For per capita family income calculation, you have to divide the total income of the family by the total number of the family member, and it is calculated out for the assessment of socioeconomic status, and it should be updated based on the current cost inflation index, which I am coming to the later. And there are several scales to decide the socioeconomic status to the family. So they are usually modified Kupuswamy scale, B.G. Prasad scale, Kulashetra-Parikh scales, and so many scales, but which we are very much needful for us in case of collecting field data in an urban area is the modified Kupuswamy scale. It is actually used for the urban areas, and it is developed by the Kupuswamy, a South Indian researcher, in very earlier time, and by time to time it has been modified, and this lastly modified scale which is going to be used now is the modified Kupuswamy scale, updated in February 2019. This scale has 3 factors which assess the socioeconomic status of the family: occupation of the head of the family, education level of the head of the family, family income per month. Weighted score is given for each of the 3 characteristics, and total score is calculated, and the individual family is assigned the appropriate social class. And for calculating this family income, an inflation-based conversion factor is applied considering the price index of 2000 as 100. This is actually you need not to know at the time, but for the time being you can know that this income has been going changed to every year for every in every country, for every citizen of that country. In India also the total family income is changing every day and every year, and whatever the income of a person was in 2018 or 2017, it is not like same as the 2019. Either 2019 it has been increased or it has been decreased. So regarding this factor, the family income has been adjusted according to the current cost inflation index, and that in economics it has been calculated the cost inflation index in the year 2000, and after that for correction in every year a conversion factor has been added to make it appropriate for the same year. Like understand, suppose X is the cost inflation index in the year of 2000 and it has been in the 2019, and the 2019 it would be the a conversion factor something Y has to be multiplied by the 19 times to make it adjustable for the year 2019, and income should be adjusted for that, and that income should be taken. But in case of this is the very much difficult calculation, and you it is actually it can be actually in field area, which in instant process it has not been easy, it is not being easy to apply this all the calculation. So for the time being, to collect data in the field area, you just ask the respondent after making the good rapport with the respondents and the other family members that what is your monthly family income, total monthly family income, and if he or she give the correct accurate income, that is well and good. But if he or she is not able to provide the accurate income, then you ask ask him or her to give the approximate income in a range, and you should collect that and you have to collect that. This is the description of the modified Kupusamy scale 2019, and previously I have mentioned that in 3 head this scale has been calculated. The first one is the education of the head of the household, and for the every education level weightage has been given. Like professional degree it has been given 7, for graduate and postgraduate it has been given 6, for intermediate or post high school diploma it has been given 5, for high school certificate it has been given 4, for middle school completion it has been given 3, for primary schools completion it has been given 2, and illiterate 1. And same like in case of occupation, for professional for 10, semi-professional 6, clerk, shop owner, farm owner 5, skilled worker 4, semi-skilled 3, unskilled worker 2, unemployed 1. And for family income per month, more or equal to 52,734 it has been given 12, and rest of the things are mentioned here, and the score, the minimum score is 1, which is less than equal to 2641. And after when you go to the family, you first ask you have to know the education level of the head of the family. Then the occupation of the, suppose the education of the head of the family is high school certificate, then you put 4 for that. Then you collect the occupation of the head of the family. Suppose he is a semi-skilled worker, then put 3, and then you at last you ask for the family income per month, and it has belongs to the group of 2641 to 786, then you put for 2. So total score of the family then become 4 plus 3 plus 2, 7 plus 2, 9, that is 9. Now comes the interpretation of this score, that is the class categorization according to this scale. The total score is 26 to 29, it belongs to the upper class. If the total score is 16 to 25, it belongs to upper middle. If total score 11 to 15, it belongs to lower middle. If total score is 5 to 10, it belongs to upper lower, and the total score is less than 5, that it belongs to lower. Here in my example the score becomes 9, so here it becomes the total score between 5 to 9, and the socioeconomic class becomes upper lower. Next come to the Parik and Kurukshetra scale. It is commonly used for the rural areas. This scale is not needed for you actually, because you collect data from the urban area, but for your knowledge and for your exam purpose, the examiner may ask the socioeconomic status identification scale accepts the modified Kuprusamy scale. Then you have to mention the Parik and Kurukshetra scale, which is commonly used for the rural areas, and this scale has 9 factors which assess the socioeconomic status of a family. And these 9 factors are caste, education, land, farm powers, family, occupation, social participation, house, and material possession. So this is a very complicated scale, not like the modified Kuprusamy scale, and the details you may not need for your family practical part. And another scale is BG Prasad scales. Also, it is for your knowledge, and it is based on the per capita monthly income after correcting the cost inflation factor, and used in rural areas, but maybe also can be also used in case of urban areas also. But this scale is not up to the mark as the modified Kuprusamy scale, and not usually used widely. And here also according to the per capita class, the per capita income, the class has been divided into 5 classes, and that has been shown in your screen like that. Next comes to the schedule for identification and assessment of the socioeconomic status of the family. This is the schedule. Here in your family practical book, you will find this schedule. Here it has been due to some typing error and the PPT error, some letter become haphazard, but in your family book it has been given is very properly. All the points are same, and you have to fill up according to the point. That is the identification of the family is the subheadings according to the schedules. So first you have to know the name of the head of the family, which I have already mentioned. Then type of the family you have to identify. You have to put the address. Address is very much needed, because in case of further communication, when you have to provide some health tips, some advice, some recommendations to the family, or some further clarification after collecting your data, or you have to visit the family, or you have to collect further details, then otherwise you will not put address, you will not communicate with the family. So address is very much important in this regard. You have to mention religion is important, because some of the problems regarding health and other social problems is more common in some religions because of their religious belief and practices. So you have to take religion, you have to take caste. The same here also is the some rituals, some beliefs, some practices are more related to some caste. Mother tongue also you have to know, some culture, because mother tongue is very much important actually, communication with the responders or the family members. So mother tongue has been needed. Place of origin, length of stay. Place of origin may be some health issues has been confined to the some areas which can be transmitted to the from mother to children, and so place of origin has an important in this regard, and also the length of stay, which is very much important. Length of stay is very much important, because it is actually the place where the family members is living, and it has direct and indirect effect on the health of the family members. Now coming to this, then you will find like a box where the particulars of the family members is a headings. Under the heading of the particular family members, you will find a box. Here 10 to 11 columns are there. I think in your family book it is 11 columns including consumption unit. I have excluded the column because consumption unit you have not you do not have need to calculate the consumption unit. So these 10 points you have to collect 10 columns you have to fill. That the first was serial number. I have nothing to say about that. 1 2 3 4 5. Then the names of the each and every family members. Then relation with the head of the family member. Then age, the sex, marital status, educational level, occupation, the physical activity, and the physiological status, which I have discussed till now elaborately. You have to fill all the point in this box, in this table. And for fill upping, when you go to the family for collecting the data, you have to actually fill up this page only. And for filling up this page, I have discussed all the things which I have already told you. So now the identification part has been over. Now coming to the oh yes, after that, one thing I have to forget to mention you, that after filling up the this data and also this table, in your family book you will find a page, blank page, where there is a mention that is the family tree. So after filling up this, you have to draw a family tree. Family tree means the head of the family, the wife of the head of the family, if there is grandmother or grandfather, if there is child, if they have if they are alive or dead, all things you have to maintain. And for this there is certain rules for drawing a family tree. I think you all know, that is the male person has been identified by the box signs, that is the rectangular signs, and the female person has been identified as the round sign, and the dead person, dead one has been crossed, dead one has been crossed, and the male and the female, if they have a married relation, they are connected with a line, and from the middle of the line, another line has been drawn to express the number of the child. I think it has not been it is difficult to express verbally how to draw a family, how to draw a family tree. I think all of you know that, and in your theory class it has been already done, so I am not going to details. If you have problem, you have to follow the previous batch students and previous batch students, and to observe their page of their family book, how they have drawn this family tree. So after that, you have to draw a family tree in your family book. Next, next you have to assess the total income and expenditure pattern of the family, and for that purpose this is the schedule, and you have to fill up the schedule by collecting the data from the responders of the family. And this table contains one is the income of the family and another one is the expenditure of the family. So under income, you have to ask, you have to inquire about the total income and total expenditure of the family. Now you have to calculate the balance. Now you have to total number of the earning. You have to calculate the total number of earning members, total number of dependents, and per capita income. In case in the table of monthly expenditure, you have to calculate. Firstly, you have to ask the responders about the expenditure for the respective items, and you have to calculate the percentage regarding the total expenditure. But regarding the what percentage of the total expenditure has been allotted for food, what percentage of the total expenditure has been used for fuel, like that. And after that, you have to ask the saving methods of the family, that is the if there are any savings accounts, if there are any fixed deposit, if there are any other savings scheme they have acquired, the government scheme or private scheme, you have to inquire in details and have to write there in your family data collection book. And you have to also ask about if there are any health insurance, and either private health insurance, either private or governments, or any other social security schemes they are availing or not. Next, you have to inquire about the assessment of the social problems of the family. Social problems, there I have already mentioned that social problems may be related to literate status, may be related to unemployment, may be related to any handicapped or chronically ill family member is there or not, etc. So you have to ask for any unemployed member in the family or not. Anyone is using any type of substance like alcohol, like tobacco, like etc. Then you have to ask about the type of the substance they are using, who are using this substance, head of the family or any other family member, what amount of that substance he or she is using, how frequency in a day or in a week or in a month and he or she is using, for what duration he or she is using this substance, and whatever the cost is incurred for this for use of the substance. Because the cost, the inquiry regarding this cost inquiry is very much important, because if a person is very much addicted to anything of any of this substance like alcohol or any other tobacco products, then he or she may she may use a lot of money from his or her income to these addictive materials, and which will indirectly or directly affect the family for their other purpose, and it may lead to the health problems to the other family members and also to him or her. So it is very important. And next point is, any mother who is unmarried or divorced, these are social problems also. Unmarried mothers, it's a very much social problem, so all of you know that. Then you are divorced one, or any abandoned by husband's family. Then you have to ask any handicapped or chronically ill family member is present or not. Any children above 5 years not going to school, if present, then why he or she is not going to school. You have to inquire about the reason. You have to find out the reason. Is the mother working anywhere? If so, then who looks after the child in her absence? All these things you have to inquire in details, and you have to write in this your data collection sheet in your family book. Now, next, if there any child labor is present or not. Child labor is very much a problematic things in India, and you know there are so much the legislation related to for the prevention of the child labor and for the punishment of the who are engaging child as a labor. So, and is there any others problem also you have to specify. All these are includes the social problems, and other, in case of next point is other relevant information. Then it should be added data which is actually needed to know the communication of the family for as the any type of communication related to health, related to any other which is needful for the family. That family is going to aware about that or not. So how does the family get information or news? This question is very much pertinent for the family, and you have to ask that whether they are getting information or this news from newspaper, radio, television, mobile, computer, others, you have to tick the specific point, and if there is others, you have to specify it. Then you have to assess the possessions and also ask the responders of the responders of your allotted family that what possession they have. They have bicycle or electricity, fan, radio, television, telephone, mobile phone, computer, refrigerator, gas oven, etc., or any other thing you have to specify. And you have to also ask how do they pass their free time. It is also important for the mental health of the family, and any other salient points which has been not written in this total discussion. If you find that any relevant point which has been not mentioned in all over the part, but you have find during your family visit, you have to mention here. So thank you, students. This is all about the identification part. Then the next class, in the next class, I will discuss the environment part of the family. So thank you and have a good day.